George Lynch, and you're watching the George Lynch Guitar Method.
George Lynch?
This is George Lynch, and you're watching the George Lynch Guitar Method.
Hey everybody, this is Tony Fuentes here at La Jolla, California. Welcome to the George Lynch Guitar Method. See you soon. Jay Parmar, taking in the sights.
driving around San Diego, Coronado Island at the moment.
Well, we're going to go visit, drive by the Coronado Hotel del Coronado. I've seen Some Like It Hot with Tony Curtis and Jack London. And film footage courtesy of Jay Parmar. Hanging out, the tour. See if you can see this over here. See that? Coronado, California. You can see that. We're at Ocean Boulevard in Loma. Just a little pit stop. Having a look at the ocean. There's Jay. Alright, Lynch fans, we're over here at Hotel del Coronado Beach. You see that? It says no nudity. So you Lynch fans, no nudity when you're playing George Lynch.
Don't play Ring of Fire.
Yeah, and no and no fire. No into the fire rings. See that? And look, there's Jay. See, there's Jay. Now we're going to head on over to La Jolla, California. There's some more sights before we come over and start blowing away George Lynch licks. But you care to show us, in a nutshell, how you do your vibrato?
Sure. I kind of, my theory behind vibrato is just to do it in tempo and wide, so rather than actually just shaking the note as quickly as possible and keeping it really, really quick.
A lot of people do that.
I make sure that it's nice and wide and tempo, so we're playing out like 1, 2, 3. So it'll be in tempo with whatever I'm playing. Essentially what I do is I treat it as a series of string bends. So if you imagine it's a series of 3, 4, 5, 6 string bends up and down, and then you do 2, and you
See
do
that?
3, and then you make it smoother.
See, that's strong fingers, but if you work on it, you can get the Lynch vibrato.
And it's basically, yeah, like it's, it's just taking it slowly.
I love that tone. I love that tone. cheat because I'm from the Doc and old school of Beast from the East, where George Lynch used to remember. Oh, I made that up. So. Jay, why don't you tell us some of your favorite George Lynch stretches? Or
there's
your,
the lick
your own.
from Mr. Scary, which is the kind of diminished that type of thing, and then I do another stretch in Mr. Scary, which my version of Mr. Scary, because I can never do a certain lick, and basically I worked it out as a stretch.
That is a
and
stretch.
it's the longest stretch that I do. Basically, I kind of put my first finger on the 4th fret of the high E string, then my third finger goes on the 8th fret.
Look at that stretch.
And then my pinky goes on the 10th. That type of thing. And whenever I do a big stretch, I basically just get my thumb right up underneath, and that allows and have it in the middle of my hand, which allows my hand to stretch in both hands.
And everybody knows George Lynch is like the king of the stretches. A lot of people can do it, but who does it regularly and effectively would be George Lynch.
Favorites is just a variation of one of the ones that you did, which was that stretch, which kind of goes.
That's good.
It's just a variation on the diminished lick, etc., etc. It's just a very simple shape, but it's the stretch which actually makes that.
Now, what got me to George Lynch, as I mentioned this, I believe. Sorry, I'm perspiring again. Maybe I'll edit this out. Maybe I won't.
He's nervous because I'm here.
And I'm going to keep that in there. See how he treats me? He's leaving tomorrow, so just so you know. What got me into George Lynch, I don't know if I told you guys already, but I'm thankful for all of you who have subscribed to the George Lynch Guitar Method. So for all the new subscribers, if I haven't told you already, or if you don't know already, as I told Jay yesterday when he arrived in San Diego, in a nutshell, in 1983-82, my brother worked in a record store. A co-worker of his gave him to give me a audio cassette tape of Guitar Gods back in 1983. And that cassette tape was Yngwie, Uli Roth, Joe Perry, Michael Schenker, Akira Takasaki, Steve Ray Vaughan, Judas Priest, guitarists back in 1983 that were, Eddie Van Halen, Randy Rhoads. And then in there was Dokken, Paris is Burning Live. I didn't know about Dokken, I didn't know about Paris is Burning Live, but it was on this mixtape. And so I'm listening to all these guitar players, and then comes, Paris is Burning Live. And when I first heard that, I'm like, who the hell is this? And I was just blown away because, to me, I thought this guy's better than Eddie. And Eddie was top dog back in 83, because Randy had already passed away. Anyway, it wasn't until 84, 85, so there was like a little void there. And so I heard Paris is Burning live, And I'm like, oh my god, who is this guy? This guy's better than Eddie Van Halen. I must have played that cassette tape, Paris is Burning intro solo, a gazillion times because I wanted to learn that. The sound, the tone, the delays. Eddie Van Halen never used delay like George Lynch did. And that solo had a lot of delay. So you can get that over here. Anyway, lots of delay in chorus in Paris is Burning. So I heard that, I'm like, that's it. This is the guy I want to follow. So, long story short, I saw Dawkins opening up, or Dawkins playing at State University in 1983, right when Breaking the Chains album came out. And I saw George Lynch come out, same as the Breaking the Chains video. You have the red jeans, no shirt, the suspenders, the skunk hairdo, and you hit a open chord, an open G. And I want to say it sounded something like this, if I can find this patch real fast. He was backstage, and he had a Boss chorus pedal. I want to say the orange DS1 distortion pedal, but it could have been the yellow overdrive Boss pedal. Anyways, it was all dark. Randall stacks, you can see all the Randall stacks on stage. No one was on stage, but then you heard this in the back. Crowd went nuts, and that was George Lynch's little flair with pinch harmonics and the wide vibrato, and I'm like, that's it, I'm sold. I'm sold on George Lynch. So since '83, that was you?
Yeah, that was me.
Since 1980, so the hissing's gone. So since 1983, I've been following George Lynch, and now it's me. So I'm really happy to say, I love George Lynch. As much as I like Eddie and Yngwie, I still listen to those other players, Paul Gilbert, the neoclassical shredders, Vinnie Moore, Greg Howe, Vivian Campbell, Akira Takasaki, all the 80s guitar players. No one played like Lynch, no one sounded like Lynch, and that was what drew me to George Lynch, and to this day I love it. Incidentally, my guitar has never played or sound this good if it wasn't for this guy. This guy today took two of my guitars and made a non-floating Floyd Rose into a floating Floyd Rose, letting me do this. The fact that I can pull back, which I never could do before, without having to carve anything back here, this guy did it all. And I got the idea because he has a
Wilkinson VS.
Tell us about this Wilkinson bridge.
I use the Wilkinson bridges on most of, any guitar that I can. I like the feel of it because it feels like a Floyd, but it doesn't have a lock nut. So
this guy is playing everything I'm doing with the Floyd Rose without a Floyd Rose, and he's staying in tune.
And then I just put locking tuners on the back here. So if I do a dive one, if I kind of
I love it.
And it feels like, you've tried it. It feels like basically playing Floyd.
Yeah, I didn't know. That's how maybe I'm out of the loop, and maybe you guys already know about it. But I just discovered this bridge, probably already old. Maybe it's already a secret that everybody else knows. But I was wondering how he was able to. I was wondering how he was able to pull back without a Floyd Rose and still stay in tune. And he made his guitar a floating Wilkinson bridge.
Yeah, and
You
it
just
doesn't
sweep
have the
with it.
route at the back basically, and it's the same theory as how kind of, George has his bridge set up on his Tiger, which is essentially just pulling the pivot pins up and having the bridge come off the body a little bit.
You hear
And
that?
then
Pull the
balancing
pivot pins up, and then
and then essentially you've just got to balance the tension between the springs at the back and the strings at the top.
I had 4 springs before. Now I have 2, and this guitar plays better than it's ever played, and I love it. And this guy can do it all, and it's part of the surprise, the secret surprise that's coming soon, because he did something awesome, because he knows how to build. He knows a lot of stuff about guitars, everything, intonation, assembly, parts, whatnot. You can fix stuff, and as part of his secret he's going to unveil. He'll unveil it soon. But Jay, I wanted to thank you for making this guitar my Telecaster. We just play.
It's my pleasure. Thank you for having me.
I know, awesome. Technique. A lot of guys do a rolling technique. You guys know it. Here's the way I do it, but I probably do it retarded. I do it that way because I don't know how to do that rolling thing, but I guess he knows how to do it.
Essentially, the same way I do it, but I just use my pinky as well, so I roll between my pinky and my second finger. So. Thing,
are you using the D string or the G string?
There I was actually using the D string. The first time I was using the A. And the second time just humming on to the D. So there are lots of techniques that you can use to get that kind. The important thing is just touching the string very, very lightly while you're going up and down the string to get those different harmonics all the way along and stuff.
Here's good. Jay, tell us, who do you follow, if any, guitarists on YouTube?
Yourself.
Oh.
Myself. I watch myself a lot. No, I'm kidding.
Who do you recommend, or who do you like to follow, if you don't mind giving them a plug?
I love watching Rob Chapman's videos.
Rob Chapman's good.
Rob's great. I know Rob a little bit. He lives in Brighton as well as I do. And
have you met him and chatted with him before, or you just met him?
I've met him. I've been to one of his clinics a few months ago, and yeah, we've sat and had a coffee and stuff. And I've talked to him. He's a great guy. He's just an inspiring guy in more ways than just the guitar playing. He's a brilliant guitar player and songwriter and stuff, but he obviously has his own guitar company, which is called Chapman Guitars.
Yeah,
this is philosophy.
Yeah, it's a beautiful line. I've seen it. It's nice. It's really nice. Congrats, Rob, if you're out there. Not that you're watching, but you got a nice line of guitars, but you don't need me to tell you that.
Tagging onto that, I love watching Rabea Massaad.
I think I've seen.
Friends with Rob.
Yeah, you're a shredder too, out there.
He's great. He has a slightly. I love watching him play and listen to him play because he has this really kind of funky thing going on. It just adds. His technique is just brilliant. He's one of the guys that I kind
There's very few guitarists. I mean, there's several, but there's few guitarists where you're like, you want to keep watching, and not be tired of being like, oh, it's the same thing. He's a shredder, another inmate clone, or a Paul Drummer clone. Let me change the channel. With him, how do you say his name again? I'm sorry.
Rabea Massaad.
Rabea, sorry, Rabea, if you're out there. But Rabea Massaad, if you haven't checked him out, he's fun to watch. I mean, you can watch a video, and then you want to click another video. And if you haven't seen him already, go ahead and click, look for him. He's very entertaining to watch.
And I have his Jam Track Centrals. Mix. Yeah, and they're great because they kind of, when I start to learn them, they got me thinking slightly outside the box of what I usually play. So it's almost like he's very influenced by guys like Mino Betancourt, so he's drawing in different influences. Which when I kind of start to incorporate that a little bit into my playing, it just makes it that much more kind of, funky and hip and
So you follow Rabea, Rob Chapman, anyone else?
I watch Robert Baker's videos sometimes.
Robert Baker?
A bunch of others. I kind of, my time is limited online because I have a crazy recording schedule all the time.
This guy's recording. He's already in another band. He's forming another band. I heard 2 tracks. All I can say is, I don't want to give it away, but please stay tuned because
that's going to be exciting.
It sounds commercially polished. I would put it up there with early '90s heavy metal. It's really, really good. And he played me some stuff on it. And
but with a contemporary edge, we try and keep it current as well. We're very influenced by kind of.
You have a name? I'm sorry for asking the name of the band yet.
We do. We're gonna reveal it in a week's time.
So he's in a new band, but it's hush hush. But he already played me 2 songs that are pretty much already completed. Maybe a little bit mixing. I don't know if it's already been done, but it sounds really, really good. He's on it. Who else is on it?
Have Gary King playing drums. He's an awesome drummer. Super nice guy. A guy called Lucio Manca playing bass. Lucio, whenever he sends me a file, I just sit there kind of just laughing and grinning and happy for like 3 hours. He's just the most wonderful guy and the most virtuosic bass player I've ever heard. His stuff is just awesome. He also plays on a progressive album that I'm recording at the moment, or finishing off at the moment, which was supposed to be a 7-in-a-row album, but it turned into a solo album. And his work on that is just exceptional. It's absolutely kind of mind-blowing. And
tell us about your singer. You got to tell these guys about your singer.
Oh yeah.
What's he? Tell. I'll shut up.
His name is Bucho Vukovic, and he's just got a beautiful voice.
Bucho Vukovic? Vukovic, sorry about that.
I'll post the links online very soon. And he's just got an incredible voice. He sounds like all my favourite singers all combined into one. We won't tell you who he sounds like just yet. You'll have to wait for the sound clips to have a listen for yourself. But it's a great lineup. We're working really quick. We've got a few tracks done already, and we're going to have a bunch more tracks done really soon. As soon as I get back to the UK, I'm going to start writing.
Will you guys be touring eventually in the UK, or?
We're actually putting it all together. We're not far away from each other. I'm in Brighton in England. Gary and Butcher in France, and Lucio is in Italy. So we're pretty close to each other. We're all in Europe, and we can kind of just fly across to each other and do whatever we need.
There's good chemistry there, right?
Yeah, it's working.
You guys sound tight. From what I heard, it sounds really good.
Thank you. It's exciting. It's a really exciting kind of band and stuff. So.
See, I want to give you spoilers, but I can't because it's his project, and he has every reason to let him unveil it. But he gave me a teaser. It's really nice.
And it's another secret. We can't tell you about it. We can tell you, but then we'll have to.
I'll tell you this though. secret.
That's the secret band.